So whenever you face a problem, there are three ways to solve your problem. Number one is to see the problem, analyze the problem, understand the problem, and then solve the problem. And this is the least used way to deal with problems. The more frequently used ways are the other two ways to deal with the problem. So the next way to deal with the problem is simply to run away with it, run away from it, right? And that's what most people do. Whenever they face a problem, they just run away from it. They don't deal with it. And this is a bad approach, but this is the most common approach that most people apply. And the last one is that whenever you see a problem or face a problem, you don't try to solve it, or you don't even run away from it. But what you do is you try to hide from it. You try to hide the problem so that it is not very visible. So for example, let's take that you're going through a rough patch in your life, that things are not going in your favor. Then instead of trying to solve that problem, instead of trying to analyze what is not going right, you just go in the wrong direction and go in the wrong path of maybe using drugs and things like that to try to hide your problem. But it doesn't really hide your problem. It only just hides your problems to yourself, and that doesn't really solve the problem, and the problem remains where it was. So this is again a bad approach. So the last two approaches that I shared to deal with the problem are bad approaches, that you should not run away from problems and you should not try to hide your problems. And the number one approach that I shared is the only right way to deal with the problems. That is that you first need to analyze what is causing you the problem and the cause of it. And once you know that, then try to solve it. Now, this is again a time-taking process, and it takes some amount of work to do this, but this is why most people don't do it, and this is why most people do not get the rewards. And most people use the other two approaches, which are bad, and hence they keep degrading themselves and they keep going downhill from that problem, and they don't upgrade themselves. Upgrading yourself takes some effort and it takes some time, and that is what the first approach demands, that whenever you face a problem, you analyze it, you see through it, and then find a solution to it, and then apply the solution. Now, there are no hacks to solving your problems. It takes time to solve your problems, but that is what it takes to solve the problem in the right manner and to upgrade yourself after every problem you face. So make sure that the next time you face a problem, you are using the first approach and not the other two approaches, which are essentially bad approaches and will harm you in the long term. So always make sure that you're using the right approach to solve your problem once and for all every time you face it.